Thanks to trusted house sitters, we were able to stay in York for 2.5 weeks. We explored many of its great sights and gathered lots of great advice so that you can have fun enjoying Europe's most haunted city. We are Nathan and Amanda, two 40-something big dreamers who still don't know what we want to do when we grow up, except that we know that we don't want to live a normal life. So we're getting inspiration from exploring a world of options in hopes that we might learn what we want and have an adventure or two along the way. Our two boys are enjoying the ride with us, gaining world-class education, getting exposure to people and cultures all around the world. Join us as we try new things that are daring, fun, and crazy. Who knows, maybe you'll discover your grown-up dream too. York has one thing that no other European city does. It is the most haunted city in all of Europe. York is the city of 1,000 ghosts. With recorded history going back as far as the Roman empires, York certainly has had lots of time to gather its fair share of ghost stories. So if you fancy a good ghost story, or fancy getting a little spooked out, then York is the city for you. Roman ghosts haunt the treasurer's house, which is close to the statue that commemorates Emperor Constantine being proclaimed the Emperor of Rome in this far-flung part of the Roman Empire. Most of the city walls are built on the foundations of the Roman walls, and you can wander the walls free of charge while you search for the ghosts of Constantine's legion. The Celts used to live here in York, and King Arthur was said to have defeated the Saxons here for a short time. The Celts have long feared the black spectral hounds that guard the land of the dead, and these legends live on to this day here in York. So, we're standing in front of the most haunted Snickleway in York. That's right, I said Snickleway. It's basically something smaller than an alley that joins one street to another. So this Snickleway behind me is haunted by a bar guest. So if you don't know what a bar guest is, and you probably don't, a bar guest is almost like a phantom dog that if it brushes against you when you're passing through in a Snickleway, it's said that you're going to have bad luck. And if it charges you in a Snickleway, you'll die within the year. So whenever you're traveling through Snickleway, especially this Snickleway, you always want to be on the lookout for a black dog. And if it passes by you and you don't feel it, then you should have good luck for the rest of the year. We're going to go in and see if we feel the bar guest. Just kidding.
Freak me out.
We made it. Did anyone feel a bar guest? Good luck for the rest of the year. So we have just come through the Snickleway and came onto York's and England's shortest street. So if Corbin turns around, you'll see the street. That's the street. So the Snickleway. There's the Snickleway. And then the rest of this is the street. And the name of the street is, I'm not even going to, so the name of the street, I'm not even going to try to say, we're just going to bring you to the sign. So, Whip Ma Gate. Shortest street in England. After defeating the Celts, the Saxons chose York as the capital of a kingdom that would become one of the most powerful kingdoms in England. The ghosts of Saxon monks are said to wander many of the oldest streets here in York, Perhaps they seek justice after being killed by Viking hordes. It was here in York that the great heathen army, under Ivar the Boneless and his 2 brothers, stopped the Danish hobby of raiding the British Isles and started conquering it. They and their successors would use York as their base of operations for raids and invasions until the unification of England. The ghost of Ivar the Boneless is said to lurk in the shops near Jorvik Viking Center, delighting and terrifying shop workers as they work late at night. From his fortress, located at the side of Clifford's Tower, that William the Conqueror harried the north. It was said that he put to death or starved over 75% of the population of Yorkshire. Certainly their ghosts must wander these streets at night, looking for revenge against William. York is also home to not 1, but 2 infamous criminals from England's past. After a long and sordid criminal career, Dick Turpin, legendary highwayman, was discovered, imprisoned, and hanged in York. His ghost can be seen riding his ghostly black mare, Black Bess, around the Knavesmere where he was hanged. Knavesmere is now the York racecourse, but do the ghosts of the hanged criminals still lurk? Who can say? Notorious treasonist Guy Fawkes, who is also well known for the gunpowder plot of 1605, was born here in York. Guy was so hated that his effigy is still burned on Guy Fawkes Night in the UK and in many parts of the Commonwealth more than 400 years later. His ghost lives in the company of 2 other ghosts, here in York at the Guy Fawkes Inn. Like all places in Europe, the effects of cholera and Spanish flu are always brought home with a visit to the cemetery. The York Cemetery certainly feels haunted with its overgrown sections and off-balance tombstones. One could easily imagine ghosts wandering the spooky cemetery on dark and foggy nights, looking for tourists to grab and terrify. The ghosts of Allied soldiers who stayed in York during World War II still linger here. There's one ghost in particular from World War II that was of interest to us. The ghost of a Canadian soldier who died in the Golden Fleece, York's most haunted pub. Okay, I'm here at the Golden Fleece, most haunted pub in York. It's closed right now because we're here in the morning, but if you come here or even stay here at night, you're in for a very spooky experience because this place has not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 ghosts. We got Lady Alice Beckett, who says to roam around the staircases. Joff Monroe, located on the 4th floor. From what I understand, he was a Canadian soldier who fell out a window onto the sidewalk
Where Corbin is standing on this day.
One-Eyed Jack, mostly sighted at the bottom. One-Eyed Jack is said to be dressed in a red coat. Don't know what his story is. Grumpy Old Man. Which old pub doesn't have a grumpy old man ghost who lives crouched in a small alcove? And of course, the small child, the scariest story of all. Apparently they used to have beheadings just behind Corbin here. Right in there, they used to behead people, and one day they beheaded someone and one of the heads rolled off onto the street. The little boy picked up the head and was so excited about it, he ran across the street and got run over by a horse and carriage. Now it's said that his ghost lives in this pub, and he likes to wake people up by holding the head like, hey, look at my new soccer ball, when you're sleeping. So if you're going to stay here overnight, get ready to have some ghostly encounters. One of the main things you want to see if you're coming to see Haunted York. If you want to get a taste of all the ghostly tales that York has to offer, we would highly recommend taking a ride on York Ghost Tours. A cheeky yet spooky tour of York by bus that playfully rides the line between genuinely scary and funny, making it possible for young kids who don't scare easily to enjoy themselves as they learn about Europe's most haunted city.
Sightseeing tour around the famous streets of York. You can expect to see sights of death, torture, and death, and of course, supernatural activity.
So if you're ready for a good scare, come to York. We'd like to thank you for joining us in this video. And if you have a scary ghost story that you wish to share, please put it in the comments section below. We'd love to hear it. Also, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. Stay tuned for many more adventures, and keep joining us every further mile.